Andrew Jackson, the hero of New Orleans. In the rugged borderlands of the Carolinas, a young boy stood defiantly among his peers. Andrew Jackson, not yet 13, possessed a fiery spirit that belied his slight frame. His piercing blue eyes and shock of red hair made him a distinctive figure in the sparsely populated Waxhaws region. "Andrew, can you hit that tin plate on the fence?" a boy taunted, aware of the gun's notorious recoil. Without hesitation, Jackson replied, steady as steel, "Pass it here." He took aim, and the subsequent discharge sent him sprawling. The other boys laugh, but Jackson rises swiftly, eyes blazing. Undeterred by their mockery, Jackson's temper flared. "Death to the boy that dares to laugh," he exclaimed. His resolute stance silenced them, earning a newfound respect. This incident encapsulates the essence of Andrew Jackson, a man whose indomitable will and unwavering resolve would propel him from humble beginnings to the highest office in the land. Born on March 15, 1767, in the Waxhaws region, Andrew Jackson was the third son of Irish immigrants, Andrew and Elizabeth Hutchinson Jackson. The family had emigrated from County Antrim, Ireland, in 1765, seeking opportunity amid the turbulent backdrop of colonial America. Tragedy struck early. Jackson's father died in a logging accident just weeks before his birth. Raised by his widowed mother, young Andrew grew up amidst the austere challenges of frontier life. The musket incident was more than a childhood prank. It was a formative moment that revealed Jackson's unyielding character. Despite the physical setback, his vehement reaction commanded respect, signaling a refusal to be undermined. Education opportunities were scarce, but Jackson's mother emphasized the importance of learning and moral fortitude. The hardships of his youth, including the loss of his brothers in the Revolutionary War, instilled in him a fierce independence and a deep-seated sense of justice. At the age of 13, as the Revolutionary War intensified, Jackson was determined to join the fight against British oppression. Too young for formal enlistment, he participated in local skirmishes, serving as a courier and gathering intelligence. In 1781, Jackson and his brother Robert were captured by British forces. Faced with the haughty demands of a British officer to polish his boots, Jackson's refusal was met with a saber slash, leaving a permanent scar. Imprisoned aboard a disease-infested ship, both brothers contracted smallpox. Their mother secured their release in a prisoner exchange, but Robert succumbed to the illness shortly after. Jackson survived, but the ordeal deepened his animosity toward the British. Despite limited formal schooling, Jackson's determination led him to read law at the age of 17. Under the tutelage of prominent attorneys, he immersed himself in legal studies. In 1788, lured by the promise of the Western Territories, Jackson embarked on a perilous journey over the Appalachian Mountains to the nascent settlement of Nashville. Jackson's legal acumen and formidable presence earned him respect in the rough-and-tumble environment. He became a formidable prosecutor and later a circuit judge, navigating the volatile dynamics of frontier justice. In 1798, Jackson was appointed to the Tennessee Supreme Court, where he served as a justice for 6 years. His decisions reflected a strict interpretation of the law, bolstering the legitimacy of the fledgling state's judicial system. Elected to the U.S. Senate in 1797 and again in 1823, Jackson represented Tennessee on the national stage. His tenure positioned him as a staunch advocate for Western interests. The War of 1812 emerged from escalating tensions over British impressment of American sailors and restrictions on U.S. trade. In January 1813, Jackson received orders to lead 2,070 volunteers to defend New Orleans. However, upon reaching Natchez, he was instructed to disband his forces without provisions for their return. Refusing to abandon his men, Jackson declared, "The government may forget its obligation to furnish transportation and supplies, but I will not." Enduring the arduous journey, his steadfastness and resilience earned him the nickname Old Hickory. Amid the broader conflict, Shawnee leader Tecumseh endeavored to unite Native American tribes against encroaching settlers. His efforts extended to the Creek Nation, sowing seeds of resistance that would erupt into violence. On August 30, 1813, the Red Sticks, a faction of Creek warriors, attacked Fort Mims. On March 27, 1814, Jackson led a force of approximately 3,300 militia, allied Native Americans, and regulars against 1,000 Red Stick warriors fortified at Horseshoe Bend. Utilizing encircling tactics and artillery bombardment, Jackson's forces decimated the Creek resistance. The victory effectively ended the Creek War, leading to the Treaty of Fort Jackson, which compelled the Creeks to cede 23 million acres to the United States. In violation of neutral territory, British forces occupied Pensacola in Spanish Florida, using it as a base to incite Native American attacks. Despite suffering from chronic dysentery and a bullet wound, Jackson was resolute. In November 1814, he led a force of 4,000 men to expel the British. Pensacola was captured after minimal resistance, showcasing Jackson's audacity and strategic acumen. With peace negotiations underway in Ghent, British forces aimed to seize New Orleans to control the Mississippi River. A formidable British fleet carrying 10,000 seasoned troops anchored near Lake Borgne in December 1814. Facing a well-equipped enemy, Jackson assembled a diverse force of approximately 4,500 men. On the night of December 23, 1814, Jackson launched a preemptive strike. Utilizing the USS Carolina and a ground assault, American forces inflicted significant casualties. Jackson ordered the enhancement of the Rodriguez Canal, creating a defensive line stretching from the Mississippi River to the impassable cypress swamps. At dawn on January 8, 1815, Pakenham commenced a frontal assault. British forces advanced in tight formations, intending to overrun the American line. However, the fog lifted, exposing them to Jackson's artillery and sharpshooters. The British suffered over 2,000 casualties, including Pakenham, who was mortally wounded. The battle concluded in less than 2 hours with a resounding American victory. Unbeknownst to both sides, the Treaty of Ghent had been signed on December 24, 1814. The victory at New Orleans elevated national morale and solidified Jackson's status as a national hero. Following the war, tensions with Native American tribes in Florida persisted. Jackson led incursions into Spanish Florida, igniting international controversies. Jackson's actions pressured Spain into negotiations. The Adams-Onis Treaty of 1819 resulted in Spain ceding Florida to the United States. Jackson served briefly as the territory's military governor. The presidential election of 1824 saw Jackson win a plurality of votes but not the required majority. The decision fell to the House of Representatives, which selected John Quincy Adams amid allegations of a corrupt bargain. Galvanized by public outrage, Jackson's supporters mobilized, resulting in his victory in the 1828 election. Jackson's presidency emphasized the empowerment of the common man. He implemented the spoils system, asserting that government positions should rotate among party supporters. Jackson vehemently opposed the Second Bank of the United States, vetoing its recharter in 1832. Jackson confronted South Carolina's nullification crisis, asserting federal supremacy. After 2 terms, Jackson retired to his plantation, the Hermitage, near Nashville. Though plagued by health issues, he remained influential in Democratic politics. Andrew Jackson passed away on June 8, 1845, at the age of 78. Eulogies recognized his steadfast dedication to the Union and democratic ideals. Historians continue to debate Jackson's complex legacy. His advocacy for popular democracy contrasts with his policies regarding Native American removal. Andrew Jackson's life was emblematic of the turbulent growth of a young nation. His commitment to the Union and belief in the power of the people reshaped the political landscape. Every good citizen makes his country's honor his own, and cherishes it not only as precious but as sacred. Andrew Jackson,